Hey guys, this is Golden IDS and welcome to the next episode of Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2, Jensiets von Bose. That's such a mouthful to say, too many episodes in that, too closely related. So welcome to the boss, which is Executus Sagita, or Sagita, or whatever you want to pronounce it. Do so how you wish. Now the secret of this boss fight is making sure MOMO doesn't die, because she's got a tiny bit of HP, but she will destroy this boss, and the reason for that is because his weakness, as you see or saw on your screen, was ether attacks, and he's also weak against beam, thunder, and pierce. And lucky for us, Momo's attack is ether, so we're just going to pummel this guy. So yeah, we want to really get Ziggy on full, but it doesn't make any difference. You can take this boss down really quickly. Sadly, you can't actually down this boss. Unlike some of them later on, where you can down them or air them, and then Momo will be dealing like nearly 1,000 damage each go. And for this early in the game, very nice, considering this is the kind of damage we'd be dealing near the end of the game with our regular attacks in Xenosaga 1, which I kind of like that. It makes you feel like you haven't lost any experience because you're still dealing the same amount of damage, but in the same way you are quite young in the sense you've lost all your abilities. It's an interesting way to kind of up how much the damage is worth, because this game damage is completely different. But yeah, that was a mini boss. As you saw, it was very easy. Moving on, we get Freddy, who's going, my back. I guess they had a car crash, and I don't know why they can't get the tunnel. Half of this, I don't know. As much as I love Xenosaga's awesome backstory and all this kind of jazz, there are a few things like this. They don't really know how to make real people act how real people would act. But yeah, I guess that's just me nitpicking. Yeah, this is one of the last few episodes that's recorded from the capture card. The rest are going to be recorded on my computer, mainly because I don't have the PS2 with me, as I've mentioned many occasions. So yeah, instead of running away or shooting the ship, because it's not a cutscene, they're just going to stand there and take it. And sadly, they're going to initiate a cutscene, UTIC. Now we all know what UTIC stands for. If you don't know what UTIC stands for, actually, what should I do with these concepts? For those of you who've watched the Xenosaga 1 LP will know all about this. Should I make a link to when I explain it, or just simply explain it again, or just copy and paste the database information into the description? Because, you know, why not? Okay, so I've got some PSSPs and some PSS, I think the other ones are Bs. Now the difference is basically what they're weak against and the amount of health. The PSSBs, as you can see, I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually they've got the data in front of me, are weak against fire, so Ziggy can destroy them very quickly. And once again, Momo is damn powerful. Now, the one thing you want to watch out in this series of fight is escape when you think you're going to die, and I mean as soon as, because those back hits can take Momo down by a lot. 3 back hits and Momo's gone, which is a shame, because, you know, throughout this game, Momo is one of the best characters, because her ether attack, her attack is ether and relies on her ether skill, which gets the highest out of anyone in the game. It actually is almost higher than Ziggy's physical attack, which is what he's based on, but sadly, Ziggy's physical attack, his regular physical attack, is tainted by his attribute of fire. So here we're just using a double Medica. Is tainted by the fact he has the elemental attribute of fire, which a lot of people aren't weak against, whereas Momo doesn't have an attribute, so you can feel free to put any attribute on her, but also she won't ever be super effective, but she won't ever lose effectiveness, which is what Ziggy will, and sadly, that loss of effectiveness makes Momo a better character, in my opinion, in this game. So we're going to always use Momo whenever we possibly can, and pretty much we're going to shove Cosmos in, and Junior, and the reasons will become apparent later on. They are pretty much powerhouses. Everyone else the difference in this game, everyone levels up. Even the people who are in your reserve level up. The only difference is they don't get skill or class points. Now, when push comes to shove, we're going to have to, you know, get some of those characters. We're going to have to use some of those characters that I don't like, but, you know, what can you do at that point? So, I thought this original guy, Samuel, was talking to us, but he isn't. He's just talking in general. I don't know, talking to whatever. And I thought Toto was a dog. But he turns out not to be. He turns out just to be the kid that's sat over there. So yeah. I'm glad I've recorded this episode like 8 times, because I've never been happy with the commentary. But so far, this is going quite well. He says touching wood, and cure the jokes that means. So yeah, The next episode, I'm afraid, is going to be, I think, entirely cutscene based. Or no, the next episode is entirely boss based, and then the episode after that is entirely cutscene based. So I'm not going to do any commentary for that. I might just do an introduction and an outro, but there's really no point. But then again, I guess I should have some voiceover. So we've got a new battle. We've got a PSSB, a PSSB, and a Ratus Tai Mach 2. Now this guy will be taken down by MOMO's attacks fairly easily. And this is another reason why I will never use either Chaos or Ziggy. Now the sad thing is because they can't hit things in the sky. Most characters can hit things in the sky, or some of their moves are limited to people that hit in the sky. But sadly, Ziggy can't even hit that. So he's really useless. He hits for fire, which not many people are weak against, and also he can't hit things in the sky. Now these enemies will keep coming back. You have to take out the helicopter first, and then take out the rest. So what I do is I have Momo working on the helicopter, because she can take the helicopter down quite quickly, and Junior working on that, and Ziggy can just alternate, because he can kill these guys in 2 hits. And yeah, I don't know, I just got that guy on a skill point because it was worth it. And as I said plenty of times, this game doesn't make us anywhere near as much of a fuss in the last one about getting things on skill points, which is a bit sad. But I guess it assumes you played the last game through quite well. So yeah, all you can do with Ziggy at the moment is stock. Later on you could use ether attacks, but it's a real waste of time using ether attacks because he's not got very good ether. So he's dealing less damage than Momo is. The Momo would, while using the same ether skills. He's dealing less damage than he would do if he could punch the damn thing. In fact, his damage output is pretty low. But sadly, that's the way things go. So just use him to destroy the people like that, and then unleash all of his stock on them. And Momo should be able to finish this. There we go.
I feel more like a combat model these
Well, it's not
days.
surprising, considering you're doing a lot more combat than you probably were when your dear old daddy invented you. But there we go. So yeah, I also said, let me know if you want me to handle this LP, like, explain things in detail. I could do a small video explaining, the name of who Momo is, what she went through, kind of a summary, and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, he can't go across because if he does those things, they'll attack him, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this just shows the prowess of the UTIC organization, which I don't get how. Well, I do get how the UTIC organization. You don't get it until you actually understand the kind of manipulation that's going on such a humongous scale in the Xenosaga universe. And we're not going to find that out for quite a while. But when we do find out, it'll be quite interesting. But as I said, that only really becomes apparent in Xenosaga Episode 3. So anyway, I just went back and did some grinding back there. So let's as I said, I'm not going to use Chaos in this party. I might swap in Kid of Ziggy sometimes, but at the moment there's really no need. I'm just going to go through here and show you some of the classes and stuff. I don't know what I was doing when I recorded this, so I apologise for the random stuff. So let's pick up another topic on Xenosaga. Recently, the 27th, it was Xenosaga 1's 10th anniversary, and Xenosaga's 10th anniversary as well. It was the 28th, sorry, not the 27th. Thank goodness it wasn't on a leap year, that would have been really awkward. But no, it was... Xenosaga means quite a bit to me. I mean, it doesn't mean as much as things like Kingdom Hearts, but it's got a special place, and I've spent my last lectures reading Xenosaga's philosophy, and I've really been enjoying that as well. So yeah. Oh god, I have no idea what I'm doing. Just teaching him some points that he needs, some things that he would like, that. And no. Ziggy, you don't really need to bother about teaching him things just yet. Like, everyone has access to the same classes, and it's in a bizarre way you can completely specialise your characters, but at the same time as you can't completely specialise your characters because their stats kind of determine how useful they are using those attacks. So in the end, it's really, either high ether, slap them with some ether attacks and healing, and if whatever, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And so yeah, I'm glad Cosmos is still useful in this game. Cosmos is always kind of a useful character. I mean, they did nerf her in this one, but yeah, as you see, as a reserve, he's got nowhere near as much class points or anything else. So yeah. Oh, we're going to run into one of these battles, and we're going to cut the battle away because I don't know why I ran into that battle at the end of that. I think I was just testing out a few of the new setups that I'd done. As was shown, and as you all know, and as I've gone through, there's no equipment in this game. That's just those specific skills we saw earlier on. And the hackers, mainly I think someone from Godsib called Primantis and a few other people have found remnants of shop code in the game that said there was going to be a shop, which is more evidence this game was sadly cut short far before it was ready, and a lot of features were abandoned, which is a shame because they remade a game, Xenosaga 1 and 2 for the DS, which hasn't yet been fully translated by all the translation groups, but when it does, I'll be on to that like anything. And it tells the story quite differently between Xenosaga 1 and 2, because at the end of Xenosaga 1, one of the creative directors, there were two of them, I forget their names, I do apologise, a female and a man. The female got fired, and they were husband and wife actually as well, so in some way their dream could have been realised. But a lot of things were taken out, and under the obviously new creative direction lead, and this game is a shining example of what it could have been. If the other, if they'd have stayed and had the money. But as I said, 1 and 2 is made by the same people, I think, who did the anime, and has a very different feel to it, but also kind of fixes a few of the problems that this whole storyline had for a while. Now here we're giving Ziggy Ice Sword and Flame Sword. Now they're really good. You can cast them on MOMO, and she becomes an element. So if you're weak against a certain boss, she becomes the element that you're weak against, and you can annihilate him even further. Now that's useful because she's dynamic, as opposed to Ziggy, who isn't. While all the characters are dynamic, he doesn't start off with the ability not to be able to hurt everyone, for the same amount of damage ratio, as apart from you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be it's a little confusing. Anyway, this enemy is the 088 Libra. Basically, what you want to do is you want to stock. You don't do it the way I'm doing it. I forgot this when I was playing through, but you can down this enemy using Ziggy. So stop with everyone, pound him down with Ziggy, and then start pummeling him with Momo's attacks and Junior's attacks. Now what you'll see is you're dealing in the region of about 1,000 damage, and this boss has 3,360, so you can kill him in about 2 turns with Momo once you've downed him with Ziggy. And of course, Ziggy here, we're only using him to down the enemy, because neither Momo or Junior can force someone up. That's why we have Cosmos in our team when we finally get her, because she can force an enemy into the up state, which is still the same amount of damage as the down state. And I think the same amount of damage as the back state, although I think the back may be a little different to the down and up. And basically it's where you knock them into the air uncontrollably, and then you can all hit them there. It's, the very anime-esque thing, and a down is obviously punching someone into the ground. So if you keep... his break zone is AA. After that it's broken, you just keep hitting it, and you see, we're dealing, 300 damage each, so 10 of those attacks will kill it anyway. But sadly, we didn't, that was a complete waste of the go, we should have done this. See, now he's down, we're dealing 120, 160, 150. Now for him that's not bad. But 870, amazing. That's just that tactic would have killed him outright. I think either Momo's entire go or Momo's entire stock definitely would have probably raped that. Although I don't actually know. So yeah, good sort of technical shenanigans. Mystic powers, grant me a miracle. It's the same voice actor from the original games actually, despite the fact it doesn't sound like that. I don't know why they changed it. She sounds even more. Well, she sounds. I don't know. She sounds a little older, but it's a little difficult to tell. But a lot of people have beef with so many aspects of this game, and I completely understand most of them. But at the end of the day, the game could have been a lot worse. It's just, compared to Xenosaga 1 and Xenosaga 3, it's a tough mantle to live up to. I mean, this game is better than some games are looking at you, like Bug's Life or whatever. Any random game. But anyway, that's a mini-boss we've defeated, so I'll see you in the next episode of Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2, Jensiets von Gut und Bose, which means Beyond Good and Evil, which is basically this entire game, what it's about. We won't get into that now. Anyway, guys, see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.